Hello po, recording na pala to. Anyway, magandang hapon, umaga, tanghali sa inyong lahat. I'm making this video para sa invitation of some sort. Dahil nakausap ko si Sir Jim Cabauatan. And he's generous enough to offer his time for a webinar. And with our 2016 bad experience sa pagtakbo ni BBM, that means we have to think of a strategy from the grassroots if we want to manifest the last will and testament of the former President Ferdinand Marcos to organize. Hindi madali mag-organize because as it is, hindi madali mag-organize because as it is, people are busy, people are working, and this thing will be voluntary. So, dun lang talaga sa may mga passion ang gagawa nito. So, in fact, my invitation is for volunteers to help me because meron na tayong willing participant in the person of Jim Cabauatan to give us a good perspective on what is Filipino ideology is na isinusulong ng dating Presidente Ferdinand Marcos. Ako excited ako doon mag-attend sa webinar na yan. So, if we can come up with 5 or 10 or 50 or 100, we get lucky if we get 100 anyway, na mag-volunteer sana para dun sa webinar as our starting point to organize the grassroots level. I'm calling the webinar the Filipino Ethics Movement, FEM, Filipino Ethics Movement, because ethics is a very good word, diba? Dahil it's about doing the right thing. And we're not saying Marcos is a saint. I'm sure, he's a politician. He must have done some selfish stuff as well during his life. But at least in my head, in the books, many books that I've read about him, and in my 30 years spent researching para mabuo ko yung Imelda Marcos musical na ginawa ko sa London, A Mother's Soul. At least na-discover ko na Marcos actually had a eureka moment, meaning had a spiritual awakening, which leads him to protect the Philippine gold or mahal gold, or the gold for humanity basically. So dahil in my head nakita ko na nabasa niya at naisa puso niya ang mga adhikain ng pagiging nationalista, Filipinism, which I termed rather as Maharlikanism, na pagsusulong ng ating sariling identity and all that. So, nakita ko na actually na-discover niya in his lifetime na maganda ang hikain nila Jose Rizal, na si Bonifacio is inspired by Jose Rizal's writing as well, and I'm sure yung mga Filipinism na yan, hindi naman yan necessarily original from Marcos, but siya kasi yung parang nakikita kong third wave yan. In terms of, when I say wave, I meant that in a way na nagkaroon niya ng national consciousness na lahat gusto makipaglaban. For example, we know that after we were colonized, although may Filipinism, hindi man talaga siya namatay, pero people were not necessarily active in fighting and finding their, or keeping their identity after the Spaniards came over. And then, as I've said in my last vlog, na baka it took 100 years or maybe 1 or 2 generations or 3 maybe para mabuhay yung first wave of Filipinism, Maharlikanism, or Furianism, whatever you want to call that. But the point is, because of consciousness natin ngayon is we know we are Filipino, then we call it Filipinism. That is an ideology. And I think that ideology is only strong because of the ethical movement, the ethical people who's nagsusulong yan. In fact, ang isang synonym na ideology is ethics. That's why I called it FEM, which is Filipino Ethics Movement, which stands for Ferdinand Andrew Marcos. So, I feel like we are lucky somehow dahil meron tayong facilitator na in the name of Jim Cabauatan na willing magbigay ng time niya. So, isi-set na lang natin yung time. Ilalagay ko sa KBL or Kilusan ng Bagong Lipunan na tinayo kong Facebook group in 2015 after I launched my musical sa Manila about Imelda Marcos in 2014. Na maglalagay ako doon ng event. So, kailangan ko ng mag-volunteer, magpunta. Those who want to learn about the ideology of Filipino Ideology, which sa terminology ni Jim Cabauatan after 1986, they call it Filipinism. So, since happy naman siya na bigay ang time niya sa atin, so kailangan ko ng volunteers para maipakita natin sa kanya na mayroong grassroots movement. So kung interested po kayo to learn about Filipino ideology, please join the FEM, Filipino Ethics Movement webinar na ifa-facilitate ni Jim Cabauatan. And then of course, dahil we are in the planning stage, I'm sure Sir Jim would have lots of great ideas. So baka magbigay siya pa ng iba pang facilitator na tutulong sa atin. So, it's a step-by-step. Gagawin lang natin. We use technology to do this para hindi na tayo magkakasusgastusan. Kailangan ng volunteer and then kailangan lang din ng time ninyo to do it at yung magagaling sa puso ninyo na voluntaryo para maging cohesive tayo as a group at mapalago natin. Para mayroon tayong grupong mayroong prinsipyo, mayroong pinangahawakang ideology. Hindi lang basta grupo-grupo na ganyan-ganyan lang. Para hindi naman tayo yung tipo na record ng ganyan tapos magbibigay ng 10 kilo ng bigas then sikat na agad tayo, di ba? Ano kaya? Mamaya kaya punta kaya ako sa sa Las Vegas, doon magbigay sa mga homeless. Tapos videohan ko sarili ko ng ganyan. Tapos, ganito ako kabait ng bibigay ako, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, sensya na. I just feel like kailangan lang kasi natin ng grupo na mayroong ideology para malinaw kung ano bang stand natin. So, yeah, ang purpose ko nito is para mag-invite, maghanap ng volunteer, I'm giving my time voluntarily. May disclaimer ako, hindi ako binabayaran ni naman. I wish I am, para meron naman akong income, no? Additional. Para mabawi ko naman yung pera kong nag-gastos dun sa aking musical. But, I'm doing it voluntarily dahil, corny man sabihin, pero mahal pa rin natin yung bayan natin, di ba? Kasi minsan pag sinasabi mo yan, parang, parang ano yun. But, it's coming from my heart. So, yung ating webinar na gagawin, wag lang magbabago yung isip ni Sir Jim, mag-facilitate lang siya. Pag nagbago isip niya, wala, stuck kayo sa akin, ako ang mag-facilitate nun. Patay. Anyway, so, yeah, we're likely to do it sometime sana after a month kapag nakagather na tayo ng enough people to have interest with. Kaya sana naman i-share niyo itong video ko na makarating sa mas maraming loyalist. Mas maganda kung marami tayong makikreate na mga awareness drive para dun sa Filipino Ideology na gusto natin ibuhay uli. So, yun, objective lang natin is awareness drive uli. To develop leadership sa mga participants. Ako, I'm looking forward for it kasi although I've read a lot of books, I want to see the perspective of Jim Cabauatan dahil siya naman ang kapag actually attend dyan sa in-depth Filipino ideology courses, andun pa siya sa Malacanang. That will empower us also as volunteers and would-be leaders kung anong pinaglalaban natin. It will give clarity at makagandahan nito, it will give us a grassroots ugat na tutubo para sa hinahangad natin na magandang resulta sa darating na halalan. Because we want a person sana na isusulong na ang Filipino ideology na yan. Nila Lapu-Lapu, nila Bonifacio, nila Del Pilar, nila Jose Rizal, at ni Ferdinand Marcos. So, yeah, I think that's it for now. Anyway, ang suggestion ni Sir Jim Cabauatan is, i-discuss natin ng ideology, ano ba nature niyan, ano bang dynamics niyan, ano bang principles niyan, ano ba mga elements niyan. So, those are nice words to hear. Pero hindi natin malalaman yan until mabigyan tayo ng mga examples ba? Yung mga practical examples. So yeah, please help me, join me para sa Filipino Ethics Movement. Ethics is a synonym for ideology. Para din, malinaw na ang ating movement is ethical. I think that's what we need sa panahon ngayon na napakaraming corrupt, makasarili, self-serving, mga fake news, mga news network that pretends to be in the service of the Filipino and what have you. So yeah, panawagan ko, kung gusto niyong tumulong, we can start sa ating pag-awareness drive. And if you really want to help me, you can share this video. That's a big help if you can do that. Subscribe niyo po itong YouTube channel na ito, KBL tayo. And then we'll go from there. Tsaka, comment po kayo please para malaman ko naman yung mga suggestion ninyo. You know, I'm giving time to do this voluntarily dahil gusto kong makatulong. Hopefully, ay merong kahinatnan kung napapanahon na. Pero lahat naman ng bagay ay napapanahon kung isa sa puso ninyo yun. So yeah, I'm looking forward. So kung sino man ang pwede mag-volunteer dyan, okay na lang. Let me know nang maipasa natin yung information kay Sir Jim. Gagawa ako ng event doon sa group ng KBL Kilusan ng Bagong Lipunan. And then eventually, we will make official yung Filipino Ethics Movement kung susuportahan nito at susuportahan din ni Sir Jim ito. Kung susuportahan din ito ng mga leader dyan at mga group dyan na medyo mataas yung kanilang mga pride. Sana medyo the funny thing is, yung mga nagsasabi na magtulungan tayo, hindi naman actually lang yung pagtulungan. So, in fact, totoo naman kasi nag-reflect naman din yan sa nangyari sa 2016 dayaan. Yun nga ang observation ni Sir Jim na naging factor din yung disunity kaya nadaya tayo. So, yes, I guess we have to thank God for giving us this opportunity na makapag-isip ng ganito para sa future natin. Kasi kung meron tayong ideology as a nation, magiging malinaw, maayos, masaya, mayaman ang bansa natin. Gaya ng mga great nations na, you know, nangyari sa history. We have it actually sa time natin na to make our nation great again easily. Sinabi naman niya ni Ferdinand Marcos. In fact, I think Donald Trump is inspired by Ferdinand Marcos. Hindi niya lang sinasabi yan kasi he's using exactly the same slogan. Di ba sinabi ni Ferdinand Marcos noon that I'm gonna make this nation great again? Ano yung slogan ngayon ni Trump noong 2016? Tumakbo siya. MAGA, Make America Great Again. Ngayong magre-re-election siya, anong kanyang slogan? Keep America Great Again. Ngayon, dahil ang ating Pilipinas ay nawala sa greatness, ano kaya magiging slogan ni BBM sa 2022? Bring back Philippines to be great again? Importante andun yung affirmative na greatness. Anyway, sige, kailangan po namin ng volunteer. You know, I need your help. I cannot do this alone. I need people who are inspired to do things. You know, kahit lang siguro, mag-attend muna tayo ng seminar na yan, webinar na yan, as a starting point and see where we go from there. Siya, sige, mabuhay kayo lahat. Babay na muna.